Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We will explain about chart and graph, and I'm Yocka Meiliana. I will explain about line graph.
And I'm Aldi Septianno. I will explain about pie chart.
Then I'm Novena Chrisdewanti. I will give explanation about bar chart.
And the last is me, Edi Pujianto, will explain about table.
Here is the line graph that show information about technology usage in the UK over time. The line graph shows the rate of which British people adopted new technology over a 15 years period from 2000 to 2015. The figures are given as percentage of the population. Overall, there was widespread adoption of new technology during these years. Nearly 9 out of the people in the UK were online by 2015. The figures for having broadband in the home, ownership of a smartphone, and use of social media platform were all high that year too, at around 70 to 80%, and nearly half the population owned a tablet. The only exception to this smartwatch ownership, which remained comparatively low at 5%. If we look at the trend over time, we can see that the uptake of new technology increased dramatically in this period. For example, internet usage tripled and social media usage grew strikingly by 78 percentage points. Smartphones and tablets appeared in 2010, and similarly, this followed a steep upward trajectory. Social media usage, for instance, was near zero in 2005 and shot up to 52% in 2010, before climbing more slowly to 80% in 2015. Also, broadband subscription rose steeply by 30 percentage points every 5 years to 2010, but by a modest 4 percentage points after then. In contrast, the newer technologies such as tablets show no sign of leveling off. Ownership of all the technologies was increasing. It will be interesting to see when it peaks.
Here is the pie chart illustrate how internet users age 16 plus prefer to access the internet at home and in other places. This graph shows the result of a survey in which people aged 16 and over were asked about their preferred device for accessing the internet. The question referred to going online at home and in the other places. Participants mentioned 4 main devices in their answer: a smartphone, laptop, a tablet, and a desktop computer. On the pie chart, it's clear the majority of participants prefer to use smartphone and laptop, with just 3% difference between the two. Nearly a third of participants prefer to go online with a smartphone. 30% like to use a laptop. A desktop computer account for 14% of user preferred devices. Only a small minority prefer a device other than these main 4. In conclusion, since mobile and portable devices are the most popular choices, it is clear that many participants are accessing the internet outside their homes. The desktop computer is the least popular of the 4 main devices. In future, we can probably expect to see more and more people accessing the internet with smartphone as their preferred choice.
And here is the bar chart that shows the number of men and women studying engineering at Australian universities. The bar chart illustrates the number of men and women studying engineering at Australian universities between the years 1992 and 2012 at 10 years intervals. It can be seen that the number of male students fell slightly from 14,000 in 1992 to 12,000 in 2002, and then remained level through the following decade. The number of female students is relatively low, starting at 2,000 in 1992. However, while the number of men decreased, the number of women increased. Female students grew steadily by 2000 each decade. This led to a rise in the total number of engineering students from 16,000 to 18,000 in this period. Men continue to make up the majority of students. However, the proportion of female students increased sharply in this period. In 1992, there was 1 woman to every 7 men, but by 2012, this had narrowed to 1 woman to every 2 men. Overall, we can see a clear upward trend in the number of female engineering students in Australian universities, while the number of male students seem to have leveled off.
This is the table of the world's most studied language. The table illustrated some interesting facts about some of the world's most popular languages to learn. It allowed comparisons between the number of people who studied a language versus those who speak it as a mother tongue, and show how many countries have speakers of each of the language. The prominence of English is striking. 1.5 billion people are learning English compared to the only 82 million studying the second most popular language to learn, French. English is spoken in 101 countries, roughly twice as many as French and 3 times more than Chinese. English is the only language with more learners than native speakers. In terms of native speakers, Chinese is the most spoken language, more than double English with 1.39 billion. It is the third most popular language to learn with 30 million learners. Spanish has over 5 times more native speakers than Italian, but proportionally fewer learners at 14.5 million for Spanish and 8 million for Italian. As for Japanese, it is the least studied language of those given with 3 million learners. Overall, more people are learning English than the other language combined, and English is spoken in highest number of countries. However, Chinese has by far the greatest number of native speakers. There seems to be little correlation between how many native speakers there are of the language and the number of learners, but there is a stronger link between the number of learners and how many countries have speakers.
So that's all the explanation from us.
Thank you for your attention.
Thanks for watching.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.